Hey everybody, today we have an Optoma HD8200 to look at. This was sent in to me by a viewer, and he said it's not turning on, basically. So before we start tearing inside, let's just give it a once over. Let's hook a power cord up and see what happens. Alright, I heard a little tick when I plugged in, so that's a good sign. Now to turn it on, let's see, power button's on the other side. Oh, there's the LEDs actually. Let me spin this around so we can see the other side. Let's see what happens. Nothing. Just sits there. Yep, power. Hit the power button. Nothing. Alright, well, there's a couple things that could be. Let's start with the simple stuff first. Let's check everything. In fact, I should probably check it over, make sure it survived shipment okay. Let's pop that lamp out, take a look. Wow, man, Optoma really makes some weird stuff. The bulb looks terrible. This bulb is well used. I don't know if you guys can see down. Oh, there you go. Now you can see that white stuff down in there. That's a worn out bulb. And because of that, I don't think that would prevent it from starting. It would prevent it from running. That lamp is well used. And it does have a good coating though. It's just weird. I don't get why they make them like this. It's just unusual. Actually, maybe this isn't an OEM. I'm going to have to ask the customer. I don't see any characteristic labels on it, but I also don't see anything that indicates it to be aftermarket, especially with the bulb number not having an AM on it. See if that's on the sticker anywhere. No AM on the sticker either. Anyway, that's fine. Let's check the door switch. Let's see, is the door switch in here? I don't know where the door switch is. It might be in there. Oh, it's in there. Oops, it's in there. It's got some power on it. I want to see that. See what the light does when the door's off. I don't know if it's killing power to the whole thing or what. Now we got standby. Found something. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Probably not from that side. The door switch is not being pressed all the way. So I think this was damaged in a fall, because I noticed the focus ring was totally loose. There was a piece missing, and it's got some glue on here. So this thing was dropped at some point, and I think this was mentioned to me, but truth be told, I hear about so many projectors, they kind of blend together. But that's a good sign. That means that the problem is probably just in here, and it's probably with something with the assembly. So, yeah, there's some loose plastic. We're going to open this up, and let's get the loose plastic out, and then let's see why the door doesn't line up. Oh. Is that crossed? Yeah, that one screw is weird. It's like cross-threaded or something. Go to slow speed. Man. Try a thin. Nope. Gonna have to get a flathead on that. Oh, jeez. Somebody cross-threaded it and ran it in as hard as they could. Might have to drill that out. Yeah, I might have to. Oof. Heater sounds good today. Man. Yeah. Alright, well, let's get the rest of these out. Somebody put one of these screws in there crooked. I'm glad I didn't suggest they get a power supply, because we were talking about replacing the power supply. But I suggested I look at it first. I'm glad I did. Main board looks good. Still got to get this last screw out. I'm not quite sure how we're going to do that yet. I'm hoping maybe I can get in through the side. Oh, that screw's not even going into the case. The screw's just kind of sitting in there. There we are. So that comes off, and these come out, and the back should slide back and pop off. And we'll find all the other pieces that were not done right. For the most part, it's not too bad. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got most of the clips left. That's good. All right, so we'll set that off to the side. I noticed that this has animal hair on it. We'll get that cleaned up before it goes back in. Otherwise, it won't cool very well. And then this needs to go back together. I may glue this. We'll see. Let's just get it straight. I'll glue it if I have to. Let's get that screw out. it just fall out? Maybe. Hope it did. All the pieces are falling out. Let's see if I can find the ones for the ones for the top. Looks like that screw came out though. No. Wow. Okay. So there's the screw is just run into the plastic. It's not even coming through the hole. Okay. Man. It's like stuck in there. It's like the screw was too wide, so it's just jammed in the hole. There it is. That's what was in there. The outside here, looks like it's out of a HP printer. That was caught inside the hole, so it didn't even go up and thread in. I got it out by using an awl, just tapping on it. So that will not go back in, for obvious reasons. Now let's look at this. And why that's not tight. We're letting the door close all the way. Huh. That's curious. Let's take this whole side off. There are a screw here, here. It looks like there's a couple on there. Oh, and these are all loose. Actually, let's just open this all up so I can just keep and check everything. That wasn't in all the way. That's, you know, if you don't work on these all the time, certain things like that will sneak past you. I get it. When I work on something new, I always have to double, triple check it. Alright. That's not terrible looking inside. It's a little dirty, but not bad. There's the door switch. Here's the door switch. Is it loose? You know, this doesn't feel super tight. Let's get this side off. I want to check that. See. The switch isn't looking happy. Let's see. Now we have 1, 2. Infrared. Plug that. So there's gotta be a screw I'm missing. Yep. So there's one more right there. Take take that off. And there's the switch. So it's like on a little rubber mount. When you put the door on, this tab right here hits the switch. So it lines up all right. It's just not quite pushing. So I'm gonna remove, let's unhook this, take it out. Let's take that out. There's a screw here. I just want to check the mounting piece and see if there's anything broken or missing. Really not much to it. Now, there's a little pin it sits on. It may not have been sitting on that pin, so let's see once I get this tightened down how it looks. That feels a little better. That pin. Make sure it's sitting on that pin. It's good. Then let's look at the pieces that dumped out. Let's see if any of these have glue on them. No. Alright. Well, that's okay. We'll have to figure out. I'll figure this out. Oh, all the little screw bits are broken. Ew. Okay. Well, oh, and I found that. I don't know what that came from. Missing. Okay, so I didn't take this out. That's missing. So we're missing a bunch of screws. That's part of the problem. The case isn't held on tight. See? Look. Oh boy. So that's broken. Oh man. Yep. Take this side off too. So it looks like this whole thing is really just a damaged case problem. So that one, then the one up in the front. Any others? Yeah, looks like there might be one under here. Yeah, there's another one under here. Let's lift this power supply up. Or ballast, whatever's in here. I guess it's a ballast. Let's see if this duct will lift out too. There's a vent, hush box, it quiets the fan down. You can see the air goes in there. It's all full of foam. Quiets it down. Let's see, will that lift up now? There we are. So now you have the sides off. This power supply can lift up. Just 1, 2, what do we have here? Low voltage. Yeah, that's all good. Alright, that's fine. Where I want to look at is on this side and see that all this is happy. What my plan is going to be is we took it all down. We're going to check over it, make sure the color wheel looks good. You can see it in there. Lamp blower fan looks good. Lamp exhaust fan needs a little bit of cleaning, but it's not bad. The ballast is in here, and that's a low voltage supply. The DLP heatsink fan needs a little cleaning, but it's not too bad. The only other thing I really can't fix is this lens assembly. There's supposed to be threads here for these screws to dig into, like this. It should be loosen these a little. It should go here. And then they should grab, but they don't, because this is broken. I don't think I have any of these. I know I don't have one of these. So one of my ideas is to use some JB weld, maybe do it that way. The where's the zoom? Okay. Make sure that's actually moving. Yeah, alright, so the zoom ring's moving. See if you guys can see it. See? But the focus ring, this part's no good. So I may fix this just by gluing it, or maybe I can pack out those holes with some JB weld, something like that. But we can do that later after we know everything else is okay. And this was the main problem, was that switch not being pushed right. So in that case, let's check the casings. Alright, I see one piece that's broken. That went on one of the vents for the hush box area. So we would probably fix that. I have this to fix. So we have some gluing. It's going to go there. And this one. Oh, that's where that nut came out of there. Okay. So let's see then. If this went there, and that's broken, and this glues into oh, right here. That looked like it was part of a mold. So that goes there. Oh, like this one. Okay. And it's gonna go there. Oh, you guys can't even see what I'm doing. Oh, Frank. Alright, so the one gets glued here and the other gets glued here. I'll use some super glue. This plastic's good for super glue. Fell underneath, okay. Alright, this came off the bottom, that's going to be cleaned anyway. Boy, this thing needs some help. I mean, it's not awful. I've seen worse for sure, but it definitely needs some love. Fudge. Touched it. It's sticking to everything. There we are. Liking that. One of the broken lens pieces. We'll revisit that after I get this on. Alright, there's one. Two. Three. And the one in the front will make it 4. Then we'll see how the switch feels. There we are. There's 4. Let's see if we hear the switch. That's good. That's the main problem right there. Now that's fixed. Now we just gotta wait for the glue to dry on these back pieces. But in the meantime, we can start putting the lamp area back together. Oh no, I can't do that. We have to put the hush box in first. So let's fix that hush box. There's the nut. It fits in there. And then we find the threaded screw. Probably lost. Yeah, I don't see one in here that matches. Let me go check my screw bin. I grabbed a handful of random screws, coarse thread, fine thread. That should be enough to make up the missing screws. I have a long thread for here. I wonder why they took that screw out. Oops. Everything seems like somebody who meant well and just, was a little more than they expected. And that happens. I don't mind these. The ones I don't like are where somebody who thinks they're a professional just makes an utter mess out of things. Everybody should be willing to try their hands at repair. See, those are missing too, but that's not as big a deal. Oh, let's put this power supply back in. So that means the side has to go on. Yeah. Back under there. has some M3s. That we can set all this back into place using. Come on, get started. Pardon me. Oh, I didn't put the screw back in that holds the side on. That's right, I just wanted to make sure these screws fit, and they do. Now this side goes on. And we'll see if the camera doesn't shake as much. Plug that in, and then we set the side panel on. Put this screw back in. See, that one feels weird. Put something longer in there, because the top of that's stripped. There we are. I like that better. Now this can go down. These belts are in the right place. It sounds like the economizer in our heater is acting up. It is winter time, so that tends to be when that thing doesn't work. Alright, like that. So they're in, that's in. This needs a screw. I'll put that one in by hand. That one is ready. Which I also will put in by hand. There we are. Like that. And the one on the front. now we can put that vent, the vent enclosure back in, and then we'll put that in. So this is still missing those. Let me see if I have any. Yeah, nothing that small. That's alright. Doesn't really need it on that side. It's got the clip that holds it. Although I'm going to go check one other spot. I really would like to put those in. Alright, this is far from ideal, but I found some brass standoffs that will take a M3x4 the way I need it to. So I tried it with the first one and it fit fine. So now we'll do it on this one where it'll also should fit fine. So we take our M3x4. I hold it in a nice camera-friendly position, and I start that, then just kind of block it so it can get tight. There we are. And it's not the same diameter as the nut, but this thing's solid now, so works for me. And it's way better than what was in here. So now this will go there. Let's try that. Let's see. Up. There we go. Huh. Oh yeah, much better. Everything's lining up nicely now. Alright, those are in, that's in. And let's get this back together. This way. Oof, that was a little stripped in there, isn't it? Alright. Now we're back in here. Let's take the lamp out, or the lamp door out. And we'll put the used but functional lamp back in. Just take a peek in there and make sure everything looks copacetic, and it does. So what a pain that is. Just going to put the one screw in. Alright, I have standby light. See if it goes green. Or blue, I mean. Yep, blue flashing. Fans should come on in a moment. Maybe. Okay. Blue lights flashing, blue power lights flashing. So now it's not starting, but we at least have something happening. Nothing. Well, I didn't have the camera running because I was just kind of messing about, but I took the main board out underneath and reseated it because it didn't feel like it was straight. Then when I pressed the power button, everything came on. So that's good. We even have HDMI. Let's get a signal. Let's see what it looks like. HDMI 1. Yeah, and there's the Raspberry Pi. So that's good. I don't have the remote to check the rest of the settings, but that's okay. Is there any other? No, there's no other buttons. No, I don't have the remote. I thought I might, but that's okay. So, yeah, it was the bottom. Was this board. I had to reseat. There was a possible loose connector here, and I'm not sure if this was pushed in all the way, but now it is. So before I put these all back in, let's get this back in. Alright, so there'll be probably some screws I have to take out. Alright, I see. So 1, 2, 3. Those two. That's good. Alright, so the top is back on. These are back in place. We'll set the actual cover on after. Let me put all this stuff back in. there was 2 standoffs. I actually put a screw here where there's supposed to be a standoff so I could test everything. In case I had to take this back out. Fortunately, I don't have to. Alright, I like that. And there's this thread here was kind of squicky. That'll be better. Now, let's put this back on. Is that metal? Yeah, it was a little piece of screw schmoo. This cover goes on, pushes down. I like it. Now I can put the lid on, except we still have to figure out how we're going to deal with the focus ring. Still thinking about that. Thought that felt weird. That's where that broken plastic came from.